Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and I am going to attempt a project from Roxy's weekly challenge. It's week 12 where Rachel made vellum pockets, and I thought they were super cute and want to give them a go, but I do have vellum. I have a very small amount of vellum that I got given from somewhere. But I do have tracing paper, which incidentally I was also given. So I'm going to use tracing paper rather than vellum. And I am going to use, to decorate the back, I'm going to use these images from an art catalogue. Now I've trolled through a couple of my art catalogues looking for images that were the same size front and back on the paper. Wasn't that easy. There weren't that many, but I did find these two pages that the images on front and back were the same size. So when Rachel did these, she used just printed out images. I don't mean just. She used beautiful printed out images that were single-sided. So when they were glued onto the vellum, you just saw white on the back. And I thought it would be pretty cool if we could, I'll just put one sheet aside for now, if I could find an image that showed through the vellum, or in my case tracing paper, onto the back of the pocket. So, does that sound intriguing? Now they're not as tall as I would have liked, so, you know, that it is what it is. I'm going to try and see if I can do something with them. Now this is a bit that's been hanging around for a while. I've been digging into it for quite some time. And it's just got this little spot down here that's been damaged. So first off, I'm going to remove that. And I'll keep the strip for something else. But I don't want that on my pockets. Now when you tear this, you get funny little raggedy curly-cue bits. And that's okay. Right, so my images are 4 inches wide. So I can go up to 4.5 for the size of the pocket I want. But I think about just under 4.25. So I'm just lining it up on my grid on the cutting mat just to get the approximate size. Oh, in trouble moving my ruler. I don't know how many I'm going to get made of this because I feel like I'm venturing into territory I'm not used to. Okay, see all these funny bits on the side, which I'm not that overly fond of. So I don't know why I keep tearing, but never mind. Quite serrated, you know, like the top of a sellotape dispenser where you rip the tape off. It's got that sort of feel, which isn't a nice feel. It's very abrasive and sharp. I don't think this would cut you, but it feels sharp to the touch. Okay, and this is very curly, but I'm hoping that it will straighten out. Now that doesn't look straight to me. It's not. Well, I don't know what happened there, but it's not straight. Anyway, let's fold up the bottom of our pocket. So we'll do it there, and I'm just guesstimating. And then I'm going to straighten up this edge because that's like so super off that it will totally bug me. It's not even within cooey of being straight. It's ridiculous, totally ridiculous. Right, so let's use our craft knife, get a nice straight non-jaggedy edge. There we go. It's all fixable, you see. And then top of my pocket is definitely not straight either, so let's just give that a trim down. I mean, probably doesn't matter so much if the top of the pocket isn't straight. It can be quite a fun edge, but I want it straight, so I'm going to trim it up. It's all sorts of curly. And then at the top here, I don't think this is straight either. So this is the problem when you're working with something that you've already been into multiple times and just torn bits off and cut bits randomly. Nothing is straight. Right. So I think I'm only going to make one at a time because I honestly don't know how much I'm going to get done. So I thought these images were actually quite nice, sort of a vintage kind of vibe. So let's just cut one out and then see how we're going for size. And whether they're printed exactly or not. Chances are they're not. So I'm quite happy to lose a little bit of the border. Both front and back images have a border around them, so I'm quite happy to take some of that off if I need to. I thought it would be a nice fun little difference if there was an image front and back that just showed through the vellum or tracing paper. Hope you're all having a great day today. I was having a good day and then my computer decided to freeze and I'm not very happy about that. I'm hoping I haven't lost the work I was doing because that would be so gutting. Okay, so do I want the red poking through, which is pretty, or would I like the brown side peeking through? I feel like that's sort of more neutral background, and then we can have the lovely bright pop of red on the back. So this area here is not going to be covered in our image. That's okay. I'm okay with that, but I do see they weren't printed exactly on top of each other. So I do want to take off this tiny little bit of white that's showing on this side. Oh, my stomach's doing gurgles. I hope you didn't hear that. I think that's just digestion gurgles from my cup of tea that got to my side. Oh, and I did have a few olives. You know, I grabbed the milk out the fridge. I grabbed a few olives and munched on those. They were so yummy. Right. So, do I want to pop anything down here? I could put a label or something down there. Just thinking. Okay, I'm going to glue it down anyway. Let's start with that. And then we'll just make it up as we go along. Now, in her video, Rachel used a stapler to close the sides. I don't have one of those, and I think I would prefer something a bit more permanent. So I'm going to try with glue, and I'm going to use my alcohol-based glue because that's what I like to use for things that need some good hold. And yeah, let's just see how we get on. Slide it over a bit. Okay. So I hope this glue stick works on the tracing paper. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, and it's definitely lifting up at this edge. So what to do? Oh, we've got all sorts of air bubbles in there too. I'm not used to working with vellum or tracing paper in this manner, so this is all a big experiment. Sorry about the scraping noise. I'm just trying to get that stuck down properly. Looks like I might have to go for some glue. I'm going to try tacky glue. And I think it's mainly that top edge that's being a nuisance. Getting glue everywhere. So I don't know what that's going to look like. And I think half the problem is that the tracing paper is curling on me, so it's not wanting to, not having a time to stick down is what I mean. I'm just going to hold it for a second, grab a mouthful of my cup of tea. Have a drink with me, guys. I'm very much out of my depth on this, but you've got to give these things a go. And they did look so cool, so I thought, yeah, I want to give that a go. Rachel's Week 11 project was also with vellum, and I've chosen not to do that one. But this one, I thought, yeah, I want to give this one a go. Right, okay, I think it's had a chance to grab now. So I've got to remember that's actually the back of this little pocket. And it's a floating pocket that goes inside another pocket. So it's not one that gets glued down, which is why why the image is on the back. It's got a bit of glue on there, a bit of dry glue, weirdly. Okay, so we need to close these, and I'm wondering whether I just try with the tacky glue, because the tacky glue seemed to work okay. Though I'm going to put some in under here because my image isn't gluing down on the sides. So again, hold this down. Sorry guys, I'm going to spend half this video holding it down so the glue sticks. Time for another sip of my tea. The trials and tribulations of crafting on video. So everybody gets to see that the oopses and the issues, the things that don't go smoothly, and all that jazz. Right. So I think I possibly get a nicer result if I use the alcohol glue instead of the tacky glue, but I haven't got the nice fine tip with the alcohol glue, so I am just going with this. And if we have to cover it with something because we don't like the look, well, so be it. It's what washi tape is for, isn't it? But actually I don't think it looks too bad. Right, since we've already been using the tacky glue, I'm just going to go ahead and use tacky glue on the sides. I've changed my mind. So where Rachel used the staplerless stapler to shut the pocket, I'm going to glue it, and then I will do the other thing that she did, which I'll do in a minute. I just want to make sure this glues down by giving it a nice hold. Okay, so she used this stapler thing, and then she put a bit of book page and some washi tape, just as added insurance, because the stapler is not permanent, because there's actually nothing holding it together. It's just like crimps it together, so it does come undone. So to avoid that, meaning Rachel, popped a little bit of book page around one side and washi on the other, and I'm going to do something very similar or the same because I thought that looked pretty cool. So I'm just looking for a little scrap of book page in my bag. And I don't think I'm going to bother with the glue stick because it didn't seem to like sticking down. So I'm just going to go with my tacky glue. Thank goodness for tacky glue. Otherwise I'd be turning this video off, casting everything in the bin and looking for something else to do. So I've just walked away from my computer, giving it time to sort itself out, and hoping that when I go back, I haven't actually lost anything when I turn it back on, because I had to do the hard crash out of it, which I don't like doing. Right, so that's cool. Washi tape. What washi tape? Oops, sorry about the noise. The thing is, I've got things stacked up on my bin of washies, so when I'm trying to pull it out, everything falls down behind it. I would like my ticket washi, I think. Where is it gone? Here it is. I think that would suit. The colours would go really well in the vintage look. And I think, again, I'm just going to add a little bit, or should I try it? Might actually stick. Make sure it's up the right way. Not that it probably matters so much. Let's go down there. Yeah, cool. I like that. So far, so good. Okay, so we have actually ended up decorating this little space down here. Once we've got a tag in it, you're not going to know that it's not decorated. So the other thing we could do, I'm just sorry guys, I'm just thinking as I go, wondering, we could put just a little bit of writing paper there. Let's have a look. Tear down and see what we think. So going a bit off script here with what Rachel did. And what does it look like on the other side? Makes very, very little difference on the other side, very subtle difference. Do we need to? I kind of think it does finish it off on the back, so let's do it. So there'll be a little writing spot on the back, which isn't a bad thing. Extra writing spot, a little note or some dates or whatever. So I'm not going to, normally I'd scribble glue in the middle. I'm not going to do that because it will show through. So we'll just put a little outline of glue. There we go. Cool. Very good so far. Okay, decorating this up. Got kind of a nature theme going on, so maybe a flower. And you're probably sick of me saying, but these flowers are from Artsology. Just got something smaller. That's kind of pretty, isn't it? Okay, this is one that's printed incorrectly, so it's not true to colour for the digital. It's just my printer had a moment. Okay. Yep, again, I think I'm just going to, yep. I might put a little bit of glue stick in the middle. And we'll see whether that helps or not. but it won't matter if it doesn't because I'm going to go around all the edges with the tacky glue. That washi tape seems to be holding quite well. The other benefit of having put that writing paper on the back is that the glue I'm putting on here won't show through. Will be invisible. So I'm making sure to get right up close to the edge. So I'll probably have some spill out I need to clean up. But I want to make sure this stays in place. I don't quite trust the tracing paper, if I'm being truthful, and I am. Always try to be truthful. Right. Well, not too much on the squeezing out the side, so that's good. So I'm just going to turn it over and give it a good rub, just to try and make sure it sticks down to that tracing paper. There we go. Okay, so that's the pocket done. I'm actually surprised, even with those little issues, how quick it came together. So now we need a journal card to go inside it. Do we want to use another one of these images or something different? Could use one of those. I'm not so fussed on these images down the bottom here. They're photographs in a frame, in this big frame. Well, they look like photographs. Maybe they're not, but that's what they look like. So I wouldn't mind if I lost the image on the back. So I'm just going to cut out one of these, very, very similar to the one we used up here. And yeah, I think we'll need to cut it down a little bit, but we'll cut it out first. And it's probably a bit matchy-matchy, but it's not always a bad thing. Right, yes, we definitely need to lose some off the sides, so I'm going to do this with my ruler and craft knife. So I think that's going to be a lot easier to do, and I'm going to take off about that much off each side. And I'm just going to eyeball it. More convenient, that's about on that line. Maybe a fraction more than I took off the other side, but I don't think that matters. I'm just going to check it fits. And it does. Yes, I think they'll be quite nice. Right, so I need to back it. Well, they're actually quite fun little strips with that pattern either side. So I might just keep those. Put those in my scrap bin or bag. Okay, I've got a bit of creamy book page here. So that would be nice. It says trees. So let's use that. And of course, glue stick here will be fine. And I should have grabbed something else out. A couple of things actually. I forgot about the end of the process that Rachel did. I'm not sure whether the tracing paper will ink up that well, so I'm not bothering to ink, and I think everything's got a vintage feel anyway because of the colours I've used. I could do this if I wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary actually. Right, so that's our wee journal card. And I will possibly round the corners on that. I'm thinking, but I'd want to wait till the glue is dry before I do that. So that tucks in there, and that's really cool. It is curling a little bit, which Rachel had this issue as well because of the glue on the essentially plastic. But it will straighten out when it's sitting in a journal sandwiched. It will flatten out fine. Right, the other thing. Excuse me for a moment because I didn't pull it out ahead of time. So I need my crocodile, or if you don't have a crocodile, you don't need a crocodile. You need just something that will punch a hole. I have trouble opening this container sometimes. So grab this out. And I want the big hole. And try and center it. Good enough. Oh, trying to reach the other thing I didn't grab down is I'm going to use tulle. So in her video, Rachel used sari silk. I don't have any sari silk, but I thought this tulle would work beautifully because I really like using tulle for the toppers at things because it ties really nicely and it looks pretty cool. So this is I think it's either chocolate or coffee. I can't remember what colour. It's a dark brown, and it's very hard to see when it's, you know, all single. Actually, do I want to do it? I might even do it two. So I've cut that piece in half. Actually, she tied it. Sorry, I keep saying she. That's very, very bad. Bad manners. I do apologise. Rachel tied hers. So maybe I'll do the same thing. I was going to loop it. I mean, either way would work. Whether you loop it or tie it. But let's try tying it. Hopefully I haven't cut them too short now. I think it will be okay. Just a little bit fiddly. Doesn't need to be double tied. Normally when I loop it, I find it holds really nicely without needing to be knotted. But this is a different, so I've knotted it because it just to me seemed to want to come undone. So I've knotted it, and there we have no issue now. Just trimming off, give it a nice angle like Rachel did with the sari silk. And there we go. Isn't that cute? So we've got writing space here, and we've got a little bit of writing space on here, and then the whole thing just tucks into a pocket. So this might be dry enough now. Let's see if we can round the corners. Oh. Maybe if I do it this way, maybe it might work better. That's good. Only one corner gave me a trouble. So yes, I like that. And I think I do want to try distressing the edges. It just kind of looks like it needs finishing in my eyes. So let's give it a bit of inkiness. Distracted by little fragments. And I'm having to pick up the front of the pocket just a little bit because it's curling. And so I'm trying to put something in and it's pushing down. There we go. And we could put something else in there if we wanted, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. I think that is super cute. How fun is that? I'm just fiddling with the curl. But I'm sure I can work that one out. Right, now I've got this huge mess in front of me. And under it all is the tracing paper, which isn't particularly handy. So let's pop the case aside for now. Keep that out because we'll probably need that if we get another one made. How are we doing? Yeah, we do have enough time to make another one. So let's do it. Clear up some of the debris from that first one. So I have got room to move. Okay, so the size worked really well. Just looking at this tacky bit of tracing paper and working out the best way to attack it. So is that straight? That is straight. So if we go about on that line, to get it roughly the same width. I gave myself a little bit of room to move so that I could make it a little bit wider if I wanted. Sorry, bang clash. Right, I'm just going to roughly cut that so I can get rid of this bit. And then we'll straighten up some edges here. Crash. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise, aren't I? And then she goes completely quiet. Right. Okay, so there's our base. Let's fold up our pocket. Just use my little handy tool here to give it a good crease. This time I think I'm going to go ahead and glue the sides down from the start. Right, hold that down. It's time for another sip of tea. So this is crafting and tea drinking with Belinda. Right, so I'm going to grab out the second page this time. Really pretty images. The artist is Etienne Bonnard. I have no idea if I'm saying that properly. Sounds French. And then on the other side, these are by Genevieve Boulez or Boulez. Again, I don't know. And looking at the name of the paintings, they're in French, so I'd say definitely a French name. I'm totally butchering it, of course, I can tell. So let's use one of these. I'm just going to go with the bottom ones, I think. So they're different colours, front and back. So we'll see. I don't think it will matter. It's a shame with these ones though, because I will have to choose for the journal card. I'll have to choose which one I want to lose. One of them will be hidden. But you've got to make some tough calls in life. I just had an idea. Okay, trim up the sides. This is quite pretty. It's got some gold, metallic gold on it. These catalogues are very cool. Where a painting has been gilded, they actually gild it in the catalogue as well. So you can actually see that the page has been gilded to give a very fair representation of the actual painting, which is really, really nice. Okay, so again we've got a little bit of white showing. These ones haven't got as big a border, but we've still got some we can lose if we need to. Okay, so which way round? We could put that way. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. It's just really subtle and pretty through the vellum or tracing paper. Or we could have that little pop of pink. And I was thinking whichever one we have facing through the tracing paper, we could use the opposite one to pop in the pocket. Or we could use the same one. Actually, that's very pretty. Oh, I'm stuck now, guys. This is hard to choose. I think I actually like, there's something very serene and restful about those colours. So this one also needs a little bit of trimming on that side. Okay, so which one of these do we prefer? I think I like this one. So if we put this one on this way, then we can have that image on the back, and it's got some lovely gold accents there. So let's glue this on. I'm going to put some glue stick in the middle. I'm sure it must do something, surely. Oops, we don't want big globs of glue though, because I'm sure that will show. Okay, so I'm actually going to put it down, and then I'm going to run the glue around the inside with it in place. Oop. Slide it around a little bit, and now I'm going to go in with the tacky glue. Hold it down while I do the next edge. I think this is actually working better for me. Yep, definitely working better for me. That's cool. I found a technique that works for me. Whether it works for you or not, I don't know. You'll have to give it a go and see what works. So that's really pretty on the back there. So we will put our paper again on the back. Grab out that paper for the journal card. And we'll go brown paper again. Oh. Get rid of that little chink out of there. Oh, that didn't tear straight. But it's okay. So I need to do my book page and washi. Or do I? Do I need to do it before I glue down the paper? I could put it over top this time. How about we do that for something different? I think I like it that way better. Why not? It's going to help hold this on as well, so that if the glue decides to go part way, it's not going to completely fall off. Good to mix it up a bit. So would I like the same washi? That is the question. What have I got that might go? Sorry, going to reach over here where I've got my other container. Got some butterflies here. Almost at the bottom of the container, of course. So let's go 5 butterflies, just because could have gone 6, put 3 on one side, 3 on the other, but and don't want to take up too much of our writing space there. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, so that's our washi tape. Seems to stick really well, which I'm grateful for. Right, book page. Let's find another little scrap here. Oh, here we go. There's some German or Dutch or something. You know, I've got things falling down. Surprise, surprise. Maybe I'll put it that way this time. Oh, there's angry dog sounds down the street somewhere. Yeah, well, that's nice. I like that. Very cool. Okay, so what are we going to decorate this one with? We could go floral again. We have floral motif here. We could go bird, actually. I haven't got any butterflies cut out. We could have gone for a butterfly if I did. Let's see. Don't want it too big. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, there you go. You've found a home, little birdie. I am actually really happy with how well the tacky glue is working on the tracing paper. It's working very well. Okay, let's pop you there. And I didn't even need to cut anything out of that wee birdie, because there's actually a little bit of colour in between his legs, a little bit of detail, so I didn't need to cut out that. Just wondering whether we want a little label or not, although I quite like it as is, so perhaps we'll leave that. Now, how wide? So I don't need to lose much on this one. Gosh, I've got such a clutter here. Stuff everywhere. I'm just going to take a little sliver off each side. So I usually like to pick things up and put them in the rubbish as I go, but I haven't, because I'm conscious, I'm not taking too long by doing silly things like picking up rubbish. Silly but necessary. So they're crowding in on me now. So I don't actually like it. Right. So I'm going to go all the way down. No, I think I need to lose just a little bit more. So I'd rather have it slightly under than tight. I want things to be nice and easy to get in and out. Yep, that's better. Okay. Let's glue it down onto our backing paper. Oops, don't need to glue up that high. It's a good recipe for gouging it out. Sorry, pretty image. Sorry to lose you. So Rachel made a whole bunch in her video, and I'm only going to make 2, but that's okay. It's not a race. And I'm quite happy with what I've made. Super cool. Very cool idea, Rachel, if you ever watch my videos. I don't think she ever has, and probably never will, because there's, she's got a full schedule herself. But if she ever does, thank you, Rachel. Great idea. Okay, so while that dries, because I would like to round the corners again, let's do, make sure I get round the right way, do our hole. And eyeballing center there. And I'm thinking this colour, this might be the coffee one. It's a very interesting colour. It's not the colour I thought it was. It's kind of a greeny brown. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what I thought I was getting. That's okay. It's actually still quite a cool colour. Very neutral. So I might cut 2 of this just to give myself enough room for tying a knot instead of cutting it in half. Through the hole. And when you knot it, it's still quite flat. It goes down to nothing basically. Come on, get through there. There we go. Yep, and now just give it a little filter them up. Yes, I think that colour looks really good with the colours of the image. Yes, awesome. Okay, now is this dry enough? Do we risk it? Yes, we do. And it's going okay. Sweet. Like it when it doesn't play up on me. Right, get rid of those other bits. Let's give it an ink. I've got such a mess on my desk, guys. You can't see it all, but believe me, there's stuff everywhere. Stuff on top of stuff. And then stuff on top of the stuff that's on top of the stuff. Piles. Right, so there we go. We've inked it up, rounded the corners, backed it with paper. And now let's put it in our little pocket. Like that. So we've got, I like how they're opposite each other too, on opposite sides. Do we want to add anything to that? I think it's so pretty. I don't really want to add anything to it because it's pretty. So let's just leave it nice and simple. It is its own decoration. And then we've got decoration down here. Decoration over there with a little bit of writing space. I am still thinking label. So let's have a wee look. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes, so let's have a wee look. Maybe one of these little, sorry, I'm going to reach again, grab out a pair of tweezers. My poor arthritic fingers are, I was having to deal with a whole lot of shin beef yesterday, trimming off the silver skin, and my fingers did not like it. A lot of pulling and straining, and yeah, it was very, very hard. And my hubby apologised, saying he didn't think about how difficult, when he chose what to have tea, he didn't think about how difficult it was going to be for me to do. No, that's not right. Don't want something too big. No, that's too bright. Got one of these. So yes, tweezers are helping me at the moment. Just give my fingers a break. Maybe not a label. Maybe a label's not going to work. Yep, no, I'm going to leave it without because it's not working for me. So obviously a label's not a thing. Well, at least I tried. Sometimes you need to try these things. And excuse me while I pick up the other one because it's fallen on the floor. Right, so in our hour, I got a whole 2 done, which isn't very many, but I am really happy. I think they're really cute. Already they're starting to flatten out a bit. Once the glue dries, that it may still be visible. I think it still looks cute, even if you can see the glue. So it's super fun. Thank you, Rachel, for the idea. It's Roxy's weekly challenge, week 12, done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye.